Okay, welcome to Lister LD Restoration Part 23, 24, 25 I meant. I'm in the van, and because the engine's been in here since the rally you did last weekend, haven't had time to unload it. And yeah, I must say I'm performing very well. A little bit smoky, a bit oily, but that was to do a little bit of injection time that was out, so I fixed that. That seems to run fine now. It's still got a nice diesel rattle to it as such. But we know it's not big end bearings and everything because it's had new big end bearings. So other than that, it's got plenty of power still. The smoke is probably due to rings bedding in and no load. So we're going to put an alternator on it down here to down here somewhere. So an alternator will run off this pulley. So we'll bring this engine up to what, 800 RPM. Because the run off of Wolseley running at 700 RPM. Well, I can manage to get this thing to idle down to 800. That's as low as it will go. And get it up between 800 and 1100 RPM I can run this thing at. So you're probably thinking, why are we here? And pretty simple answer is, we've been putting transfers on. Now, on an ordinary LD, you'd have, or LR or whatever, you'd have a steel cowling with Lister pressed in the steel. And well, I don't have that on this one, because it's an early example. So I'll just move you over here quickly. So what I've got is, because you remember originally we had a Lister like that. So I'm just going to quick look through the previous videos and find the one that showed me where my dimensions are, and I'll get it about right. So hopefully it'll be like that. And then we got the rotation arrow on there like that. And we got another one, there's two of them, we've got two for the back on the fuel tank. So there's three transfers I've got to put on this engine. So one there, one round the back. So I'm going to put those on and I'm going to give you the instructions what to do. Basically what I've got to do is, it says release transfer in a bowl of cold water. The transfer will curl up and start to uncurl. Remove from water after 1 minute, then leave to drain for 2 minutes. To allow to flatten completely. So basically you put it in the water, you'll go like that, then uncurl again. Leave that flatten. Leave it flatten completely. Wet application area, slide transfer, edge of backing paper beneath the transfer, and with your other hand, do this carefully to minimise bubbles. Expel all air water by wiping with wet finger. Then wipe away any excess gum and water. Position as gum may ooze from bottom, so if it's drying in a vertical position the gum might come out the bottom, etc, etc. Leave to dry for at least 24 hours if you intend to varnish over transfer. Varnish, use Turps White Spirit thinned types of varnish with compliance. Stationary Parts Limited, stationaryparts.com, info@stationaryparts.com. I will type everything on this into the description at the bottom of my video, so if anyone does want to learn how to put transfers on, that will be all typed up underneath, just to give you a helping hand, so you can just copy and paste and look at it. So I've got some thing. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to basically do like a little step by step, but I won't do it in real time, it'll be a bit quicker. So I'll start by doing the transfer. I'm going to put the transfer in a bowl of water. So basically you peel off this bit here, like so, so you've got the transfer. Now what I'll do is start the stopwatch and place it in the bowl of water. Should have got a bigger bowl really, but we'll be okay. I may have got a flattered bowl, I might have to get another one. Okay, so leave that in there to soak for a minute. Like so. Whilst I do that, I'm going to get another kitchen towel. Quickly over here. And dip it in there, like that. And I'll just wipe it on the application area of the engine. Like so. Get the nice area nice and wet. Seems a bit weird. This will tell me if it's also dry or not. So we've got a bit of moisture on the engine. 46. Right, and you get another piece of kitchen towel, like so. So 57, 50. Okay, stop. Now basically release that out of there. Leave it to drain out. So reset, start, and that should be 2 minutes, I believe. But I won't film all that. Basically, go there. 2 minutes. Transfer, leave to drain for 2 minutes, and flatten completely. So I'll basically show you that when it's done. Transfer is now finishing off at 2 minutes, and I'm going to basically put it on here, and I'll show you what to do. So I've wetted the area with this cloth. So I'm going to get the transfer and slide it to the edge of the backing paper. So I'll do that now. So I go stop that, reset. So I get my transfer. There you go. Right, it slid off. Now if I'm in the way, I'm sorry. So you just got to slide it off. Might help. Right, so basically put it where you want it. It's a nice big transfer. You're going to slide it off slowly. Minimise creases and air bubbles because they're really quite thin. Like so, like that. You wet your finger. You just want to position it where you want it. I want to bring it up a bit, really. So you don't know till you try it. Basically, you've got, make sure your fingers are wet, so you don't as to tear it or anything. Make sure it's all in a nice smooth area of the paint. Really, if you have smooth paint, the easier it is to do. Right. Don't want any air bubbles in it. Because it's such a big transfer, you don't want any air bubbles in it at all. So if that looks a bit off, you just wait, so you got to get back, have a look at it. Now to some people that's going to look skew with. See, basically they were put on by hand. So I have seen on eBay another one with a great big 8-inch on it. See? So that's what it should look like. If you get it just right. If I just move the camera slowly to have a look. See, doesn't it look a bit off? I don't know. I might bring it back this way a bit.
Just get rid of any air bubbles. Yeah, see? What about removing air bubbles? So I'm going to grab it, remove any air bubbles, so scrape any air to the edges. It does take time, this sort of thing, but once it's done, it's perfection. And that will leave 24 hours to dry. See? I've only booked this engine into one rally so far. That's way off in June. The only reason why I've done that is because I haven't finished it yet. It's not quite finished. There's another little step I want to do to it. That's put handlebars on it and flip the decompressor over quickly to turn the flywheel. Now I'm going to put the arrow on TDC. As the injector just popped just before TDC, so it should do. Right. So basically that's how you do it, and you get it set up right. I might have to rotate it a bit. There we go. It looks alright, I suppose. You don't know till you really can get a good look at it. It's probably going to look awful, but it's such that thing, it really does take some time to do. But you want to make sure you've got clean hands to do it. But transfers finish off the engine lovely. There you go. It looks better in real life. But that'll do that. So basically I'll repeat that for overdoing the entire engine. And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Okay, all the transfers are on the engine. I'll make you have a quick look. So you've seen the one we first done, that one there. The rotation arrow is one I've done. And around the back. Lister on the back of the tank. Right. Really, I'll also get you in the sun to show you this, but
the moment we're inside the van for a minute 'cause it's a bit warmer. A few problems. We had a bit of a disaster with the rotation arrow. Not this one, the previous one. Look, mangled up mess down there. It didn't release from the paper. I gave it recommended time a minute and it didn't release. So fortunately they come in pairs, so I was quite lucky I got a spare one. So I managed to put that on and it looks right for a minute. It doesn't quite follow the radius of the actual flywheel, but it seems okay. We can just, you want it so it's closer to here, so if you hit with the sanding paper when you sand your flywheel down, you won't hit the arrow. So that's that. Mind you, on a list of D, the original list of D, it's in the centre down here. So there's no biggie. What else have I done? Yeah, so it came in pairs. So I was going to use one of these on the Fowler engine because the Fowler's going to have a rotation arrow around the back on the crankcase itself. So never mind, we can always get more. That's no biggie. Yeah, so done that. If you want to know, these are not actual. This ain't a transfer set for this engine. You have to buy all the transfers individually. So I bought, it says a pair of 4-inch rotation arrows. They're a 5-inch lister transfer. They're the fuel tank ones. So if you want to go on 6 engine parts, you go on the light lister A section or big lister section. You get those. So they're the fuel tank. They're what you put on lister tanks when you're along the side and everything. That's what they are. So you get 2 of those and 1 set of rotation arrows. Now this will be anti-clockwise, no clockwise I believe, yeah clockwise rotation, yeah running clockwise. And it'll give you a pair of those and they'll do lister Ds for reverse clockwise, so it's the same as a lister D. Lister A are backwards of course. Yep, that's about it really. So I'd like to say thank you for watching this restoration. I did have one comment actually last night. It said, sorry son, this is not a proper restoration. About because I didn't strip down and examine everything. But this engine was, when I bought it, it was all running and everything, but it was stripped down before I had it. The owner I bought it off, before he bought it, I bought it in a box of pieces, and that bloke stripped it down. He bought it at auction, stripped it right down, showed me photos, the port was all gummed up and everything. So he stripped it down. Then the bloke I bought it off rebuilt it, new rings, bearings, etc. So he rebuilt it. So he was an ex-agricultural mechanic as well, so he knew what he was doing. Rebuilt it, everything right up, and I stripped it down, just put the new rings because one broke unfortunately, and put it back together. So basically it has been stripped down and examined. I've just tarted it up as he said. So I think overall it's had a full restoration over 3 owners. And I've just finished it off. So yeah, I did say it was only going to be a cosmetic restoration. I wouldn't say too much mechanical work. If you want to see a proper mechanical restoration, there will be my next YouTube video, my next restoration series. If you look back in my previous videos, it would be the Stuart Turner P5MA restoration. And that is on a Stuart Marine boat engine with severe frost damage. I put that to one side because I was waiting for parts for this, so I started doing this engine. Now this engine's done, I'm going to start doing that and the CS we got. The CS I haven't done a series of because it's more Dad's engine than mine, but it's our engine and such, but I never had time to do a series, unfortunately. So it'll be this engine, and so we're going to do the Turner P5MA next. That'll be a full restoration and everything. So that'll be an interesting engine to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed this restoration series of the Lister LD1, or whatever you want to call it, tart up or whatever. And stay tuned for the next series, which will be the Stuart Turner P5MA. So yes, thanks for watching.